Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Romel de Guzman from Dell. Today, what I'll show you is how easy it is to configure MS SQL-aware VM level backups. So we are now in the protection policies. What we'll do first is we will create a policy. Let's first name it MS SQL VM. As I said, it's a VM level backup, so I'll choose VMware rather than MS SQL. I'll choose virtual machine. But in the purpose, rather than choosing and selecting crash consistent, I'll select application aware. Now, this will give the capability to PPDM to do MS SQL aware VM level backups. I don't have any credentials set yet. If you see here, there's none. So what I'll do is I'll put a name first. Let's say I'll put the VM name, SQL-03, and then I'll put the username, administrator at demo.local, and then I'll put the password. And then I'll press on save. So after that, after putting the host credentials, I'll press next, and then I'll select SQL-03. So this is the VM that we will be protecting. It has MS SQL inside it. I'll add a primary backup. In this case, I'll do backups every 12 hours. I want it to be retained for 7 days. I want this to be placed in DDVE01, my first year domain. And then I'll press on save. And if you want to have a replica, you just select this replicate and add a policy under replicate. In my case, and in your case, if you want your backups to be replicated immediately, you just press on this, you just toggle on this button, and then a replica will be created every after backup completion. In this case, I want my replica to be retained for 7 days as well. I will store it under DDVE02. I'll press on save, and now I have a primary backup and I have a replica. I'll press next. I'll choose performance mode. And then here's a summary. I'll just select on finish, and then that's it. So this is now the protection policy that we just created. I'll select this, and I'll press on the protect now button. That's how easy it is from creating a policy up to making your first backup. I want my manual backup to be retained for 7 days as well. Again, it will show you a summary, and I'll just press on this button, protect now button, and you're good to go. After selecting that, you can go to jobs, protection jobs, and you'll see that there are 2 entries. One is for the backup, which we call protect, and one is for the replication, which is a job type of replicate. Now you'll see here that our backup is completed already. You'll see that after the backup, the replication kicked in immediately. If you can see here, now both backup and replication are completed. If you want to see the number of copies or the copies that you have, both in the primary site and in your DR site or your DR copy, let's go to restore and let's go to assets. You choose the asset. In this case, it's SQL-03. And then I can view my copy. I have 2 storages. One is my primary data domain and one is my secondary data domain, which holds my replica. If I go to my primary data domain, which is DDVE01, I can see that I have an application consistent backup there. If I go to my DDVE02, I can see that I also have a copy stored there. To see SQL, let's go to this SQL tab, which is we only configured one policy, which is a VM level policy. But because it's application aware, it's also able to back up the database, the SQL database inside that VM. And that is how easy it is to configure MS SQL aware VM level backups. Thank you.